Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So I am super excited about today's video because I have fallen in love with Lashify lashes and I wanted to show you how I get them to last for 7 to 10 days. So when I started with Lashify, I barely got one day out of my lashes before they were falling off. And I was getting really frustrated, but I finally figured out how to make them last, and I now get 7 to 10 days. I actually took them off just last night after being on for 10 days, and they were just starting to fall off. So I found a method that really works for me, and I wanted to share it with you. So be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications to get notified when I share new videos with you. And let's get started. Okay, so first off, I wanted to share my setup with you. So if you're not familiar with Lashify, Lashify is an at-home lash system, and it uses a bond that is very flexible and it doesn't damage your natural lashes. So they're meant to last about a week at a time, and they are wonderful. They're much cheaper than lash extensions. Now, I was not one to get lash extensions before, but now that I have been using Lashify, I feel completely naked without my lashes. So I love how easy this is, and I actually reuse my lashes. So Lashify is not meant to be reused, but many people actually wash and reuse their lashes. So this is what they look like new. They come in what's called a gossamer, and they're all different styles. I like the more bold and extreme styles, so these are my new ones. I'm going to be using ones that are washed and reused today. So what I usually do when I am getting ready to do my lashes is I set them out, kind of my lash map is what they call it. However, since I'm using reused lashes, I often just kind of go on looks, what kind of looks the same. I don't really have a specific, because I don't know exactly which lash is what. I have trouble figuring that out when I'm looking at them. So I just got this from the dollar store. I put in my lashes, and to wash them, I just soak them in 99% rubbing alcohol for, well, until I do my lash laundry and clean it. So I just cleaned all of these a few nights ago, and now I'm ready to go. So I have most of the different bonds, but I want to show you what I use and what works for me. So what I do is I set them out, like I said. So I'm going to do one eye at a time. I will start with my right eye, which will be these, because I want to start with a longer one on the outside, and I'm going to go to the shorter on the inside. You can do whatever you like, whatever style you like. That's kind of how I like to do it. So what I use on my lashes is the light or white Whisper Light flexible bond. So I use this. Now it's fuzzy. This one is getting a little bit dry. I do have a new one here that I just bought, so I'll be using that. All right, so Whisper Light bond. So I'm gonna use this, and then I have this. I like this applicator better. This one actually comes with the like little mascara tip, which I don't like for how I use this bond. So I'm gonna switch that with that. And then I have my bondage and the glass. So I will do another video kind of talking a little bit more about what exactly Lashify is, what you get when you buy your control kit, and all of that. This video is more for people who are either thinking about getting Lashify or maybe have it and are having trouble with their longevity. So I just wanted to show you what works for me. So what I'm gonna do first is, so what I like to do first is take my, oh shit. So what I do first is I take the pre-cleanse, and this is basically an oil-based makeup remover. This is the Lashify pre-cleanse. Now I have mascara on, so I have to make sure to take it off really well. I usually do this in the morning after I haven't had any makeup on, but I'm gonna take it off with the pre-cleanse. you have to make sure that your lashes are very, very clean, your natural lashes, and that there is no oil or makeup on, which is why the pre-cleanse is really good. So I know a lot of people use like the micellar, however you say it, water as well. And that works for lots of people, and it worked for me, but I do find I actually get even longer longevity when I use the pre-cleanse. So I'm trying to just really get like underneath and make sure that there's nothing left on my lash before I start, because you want it completely clean and completely dry. All right, my lovely bags under my eyes. I have permanent top eyeliner, so it might look like I still have makeup on the top of my lids, but I do not. All right, so my lashes are clean and dry, and the Lashify also has this little blow tool, it is called, and it is wonderful for making sure your bond and your lashes are dry. So this is like, I don't know, $8, and it's totally worth it. So this is called Bondage. This does not come in the control kit, but I purchased it separately, and I have found it to be helpful. So it's just a black bond. It is super sticky, you guys. So I put a pretty light coat on very carefully, and then I let that dry while I am doing the whisper light on the lashes. So I'm gonna just do this eye first because this is the one I am going to do first. So I'll show you what I do next. All right, so I can already feel this starting to get tacky on my eye, but the next thing I do is I take my Whisper Light Clear, which comes in your control kit in the double-sided version here, but this is a new one. And I'm just gonna switch this out. I'm just gonna set this over here, and I'm going to take this end because I prefer this one. And what I like to do is go ahead, oh, that didn't work. All right, let's try that again. That's better. So one of my tips is to make sure you are putting a very, very light coat of bond on. One reason why your lashes may not be lasting is because you could have too much bond. So that is all you need on the spine. That wasn't supposed to happen. There we go. And so what I like to do is go ahead and put this on all of my lashes for that one eye, because you need to wait and let it get tacky. Might be a little much. I think I need some new wandums. That's the things here. That just makes it so they don't stick to the wand, but mine are original and probably dirty. So it's still kind of sticking a little bit. So that's only about how much bond I put on the spines. And then they take just a couple of minutes to, jeez, they're being stubborn. They take just a couple minutes to get clear and tacky so that they're ready to put on. And this way, when you do it like this, it just speeds it up versus doing it every single one separately as you need to do them. This wand also comes in your control kit, which is basically the control kit is everything you need to get started. However, it doesn't come with many gossamers or lashes, so you do need to get more, I would say, than what comes in the control kit. All right, that didn't go as smooth as usual. Never does when you're doing a video. All right, so I'm just gonna stick that in there so that it is ready for later. All right, so you can see they're still wet. This first one is starting to get a little bit clearer, actually, so it won't be long before they are ready to stick on. So I'm going to come back and let's do the next step. All right, so it's only been a couple of minutes since I put the Whisper Light onto the spines of my gossamers, and I'm gonna take my bondage again, and I'm just gonna do one more coat just on the base of my lashes. And I almost always hit my eye and then get it everywhere, especially because I'm looking in the camera right now and not a mirror, so there we go. So that's just giving an extra bond. So the bondage is just a stronger bond. So the bondage, they say, is maybe not great if you're just beginning, because once you place a lash, it's a little harder to remove and place somewhere else, although I still do that fairly often. So I can feel it sticking together here a little bit. You may see me looking over in my mirror a little bit too, just because it is really hard to do this into a phone. All right, so you also don't want to wait for too long and let your bond get too dry on your gossamer. So this one is ready to go. And if it's not, if it's still, maybe I put it a little thicker on one, I will just take this, and you can do this onto the gossamer until it's clear and tacky. When you touch it, you should feel that it's tacky. So it is super simple, you guys. Now, if only I can show you how simple it is. So there is my number one biggest tip for using Lashify is do not place it too close to your waterline. That is what I was doing wrong. That is what most people do wrong. And that will not make them last. So I like to overlap slightly, and I make sure that I am like probably 3 millimeters away from my lash line. Because when you go too close, the water from your eyes watering, they loosen the bond, and then, sorry, I don't think I'm like doing this so you can really see very well. So you can see that these are quite a ways up off of my waterline. And that is one other way that I get them to last. So I'm just gonna continue on. So I kind of like put it on and then pull it up to make sure I can see that it's moving up from my waterline, sorry. So there you go. Hopefully you can see that. Move it up a little bit. Also, when I first started doing them, I put them on and it would like really irritate my eye. I'd have spots that were itchy and bothering me, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized it was just because it's too close to my lash line. Or sorry, why do I keep saying that? Too close to my waterline. And so it was irritating just that part of my eye and kind of scratching in my eye. And I almost gave up on it, but I found a method that worked. And I realized that even though I thought I was staying far enough away from my waterline, I was not. And another tip is leave some of your natural lashes out here and here. So you don't have to start right at the edge. I know some people like stop right here, and others do the whole thing like me. So I think they're all good. So there's one eye done. I'm just going to check right here. Sorry for the close-up of my head. All right, they look good. So the next step, once you have them placed where you want them, is to fuse them. So lots of times I don't fuse them until I do my other eye, just to make sure they're even and equal and how I want them placed before I go ahead and fuse them. But since I don't want to keep you forever, I'm just going to fuse this eye. Now, this wand is not really shaped for my eye. Some people can do it this way, others can't. So I can kind of do it this way, and you just do a quick squeeze, and you can even kind of curl up, but you can see I'm not really getting right here. So I actually prefer to do a reverse fuse. So I like to put it back like this way and just do it in sections. I find I can fuse a little bit better. So what this is doing is it is like fusing them to my natural lashes. So they are not going anywhere. All right, so you can see that this look is fairly dramatic. This is mostly E's, maybe some F's, but that's just the look that I prefer. Quite a big difference. And especially when I try to kind of draw attention away from my under eyes, I have very thin skin, very, very dark circles. It's really hard to cover up. So that is my first one. And now I'm gonna go on and do the second one. And when I'm done, I will go over with the glass, which is just a sealer. It helps protect it from water, and it just helps really keep them in place. And that is how I get them to last for 7 to 10 days. That's it. So I used bondage and then Whisper Light clear on the spines of the gossamers, and then I did bondage just on the base of my lashes, put them on, fuse them, and with glass. So if you want to stick around and see me do the other eye, I will talk a little bit less and maybe speed it up so that you can see it, but you don't have to listen to me blabbing the whole time. I should also mention that I am not affiliated with Lashify at all. I should have started with this one. I just really love it and wanted to share with you guys, and I am far from an expert. This is just what works for me after using it for almost a year. And I know that I watched a lot of videos to try to figure out how to make them last. So that's why I wanted to share. All right, guys, so that was my second dye. I did place one a little higher than I would like because I was doing it in the camera, but it looks fine. I don't think anybody will notice. So now I'm going to go ahead and fuse it. Now that as soon as you have them in the right place where you want them, you're gonna fuse it. You don't wanna over fuse. You really only need to do it like once. I usually do it once that way, then I go and just do a quick reverse fuse, kind of 3 areas to make sure I get them all, and that is it. I don't fuse again every morning. Some people do. I don't fuse again unless I have one falling off that I need to touch up. So if I have one falling off, I just take my Whisper light and I kind of pull it up and I put a little on. Once it dries, I fuse it and I'm good to go. I just make sure to catch it before it's actually falling off. So they're done, they're fused. Now I'm going to take the glass, there we go. And it just looks like this. And like I said, this is just a sealer. And the other thing I like to do is I like to put it on the top too, just so that it kind of protects it from any water from when I take my makeup off or when I'm in the shower. And my other tip for longevity is when your lashes are wet, they can get wet, like in the shower. You just don't want the water to like pour over your face, but they can get wet. It is okay. You just don't want to touch them when they're wet. So keep your hands off of them when they're wet. Let them dry completely because water will loosen the bond. So like I said, I like to do the top too. I find it just gives me that extra kind of protection. And there we go. They're done and I don't have to worry about them for another probably week. I like to do them every week just because after a week they kind of start getting, you know, I just like the new fresh set. But this last time when they lasted 10 days, it was pretty cool. So I hope that this method helps and that you have good luck getting your lashes to last however long if you're not getting the longevity out of them. So make sure to like this video, subscribe, let me know what else you want to see. If you want me to do more videos like this, then just let me know. And I am so happy that you watched, especially if you are here to the end. I know it was long, but I wanted to show you how I do it from start to finish to get the best longevity. And remember, when I started, I think I got a half a day out of them and they were falling off. Don't put them too close to your water line. Don't use too much bond. Don't over fuse, and find what works for you. So thanks for joining and hopefully you will be back to watch some more of my videos soon. Bye guys.